Back 4 Blood is terrible. If you didn't know, Back 4 Blood's open beta came out yesterday, and wow do I hate it. But before I talk about why that is, let me tell you my personal experience with wave shooters. I have a dozen or so hours in Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 and thought it was a good bit of fun for what it was. I later bought Warhammer Vermintide 2 and thought pretty much the same about it. But Back 4 Blood, oh my god is it bad. I think that this game is a buggy, unfinished, worthless piece of junk. And to show you why, I'll give you a rundown through my first multiplayer match. So I started as a zombie, as the only one on my team, but I didn't think this was a problem. Just thinking that the zombies were insanely powerful, and so 1v4 was to balance it out. I load in, wait a minute or two for the survivors to get set up, and then I spawn. I move over to the group of survivors, and I die before I can even reach them. Okay, maybe it's about positioning, waiting for the right time. I respawn inside of a barn, and wait at the door for someone to come in. I barely do any damage to him before I get wiped out. Some red flags are going off in my head. How are you supposed to fight 4 survivors when I can't even ambush and kill 1? I eventually wipe them out after 5 minutes of sweat and spawn in as a survivor. It tells me to choose my cards, which are barely explained, mind you, and then loot the surrounding area. I don't see any of my team, but think that maybe you just can't see them during the scavenge phase.
We've sighted large numbers of Ridden advancing on your area. Fortify yourself. Light them up!
The enemy team of zombies spawn in, and before I can even realize what happens, I'm dead. A few more red flags pop up. If it took me 5 minutes to kill them, why am I dead within half a minute? After that bullshit, I pulled the scoreboard up and realized that the round was still 1v4. Upon realizing how terrible the matchmaking is, I leave, in hopes of finding a better one. Let me ask you a question. If 5 people are placed in a server, how would you sort them out to be as even as possible? Yeah, I'm sure you thought to put 2 on one team and 3 on the other. Sure, it would still be unbalanced, but it's 1,000 times better than 1v4. Now, if the other team was all in a party, then why wouldn't the game find more players for the server? Okay, now that I got that off my chest, let me tell you how the gameplay is. But be warned, this segment won't be any more positive. The guns in this game feel weaker than me after the second dose of the COVID vaccine. And I chalk that up mostly to the sound. Listen to this M249 and tell me it doesn't sound weak. The only weapons that feel free from this problem are the pistols, which I actually enjoy using. They have a good amount of physical kickback, a strong sound, and tactile reloads. You may be thinking, well, if there's terrible gun sounds, maybe there's a good soundtrack to mask it. Well, listen to this clip of me being attacked by a horde, and tell me what's missing. If you said enjoyable gameplay, well, you're not wrong. That's not exactly what I'm talking about. There is no music in this tense horde battle, which just makes it feel boring and empty. Back 4 Blood has some of the worst audio mixing that I've had the displeasure of listening to. But Nathan, what about the witty banter? Surely they couldn't mess that up, considering they're riding off the coattails of Left 4 Dead, I hear you say. But yeah, that's also crap. Honestly, I wanted to like this game. I really did. I heard a lot of people saying that they didn't have any faith in this game, but I wanted to believe that it could be good. But every aspect of this game is just so terrible and unlikable. The characters are forgettable, with almost all their voice lines committed to calling out weapons and ammo, as well as screaming that they're downed. Overall, this game is not worth your money, and the free beta that just ended today as of editing this is not worth wasting your time on. So there was the review. Please tell me what you think about this style of video. I don't know. It's kind of my first actual review. I had one in the works, but later I I stopped making it and I never finished it. But yeah, bye.